Well, the thing about governorship elections and state assemblies elections is that, people are usually, it's closer to them.
Very well.
So they get a lot more involved. And some of the figures we've seen over the years is always different from the way people vote during the presidential elections. Do you think that is going to change across board, or maybe just follow the same pattern?
Well, I think now that the votes are counting, some persons who are important in their rights, who people accept, even when they are in the opposition party, people may likely go towards them. In the days gone by, whether you bring a moron or you bring a rascally person, it doesn't matter. But now it will be a thing that will matter. And that will be a lesson to the political parties. To say, look for credible individuals. Look for personalities that what is sought, that you can bring out as a candidate, and for which the people will say, we know this person, and then he can also use the clout of the party to be able to move forward.
When you say votes count, there are those who also think that, before they come to their own conclusion, they think that the commission should be able to publish in terms of how the people voted. Remember at that point where it was said that by the commission, where the card readers failed to work, just go with manual accreditation. Some think that to some extent that did affect certain things the way it turned out, because I remember speaking to a Ghanaian broadcaster. They had some of these challenges as well, and he talked about how they corrected theirs. Shouldn't we also say, well, let's look at that and see how we can improve further in terms of publish it, let's see the demographics and all of those figures, then we can indeed say, yes, we'll correct all these areas, and then have a better election.
In my intro, I forgot to thank INEC and Professor Jega. Notwithstanding the mode and manner in which the commission was vilified and everybody said all manner of things, I think to all intent and purpose, the commission has come up very well. I read in the papers this morning something like headline that says Professor Jega says he's not going to seek a reappointment in that place. Well, it is his right, but I also feel sad that we need somebody to consolidate on what we have done. And I think if INEC goes ahead with what we have said, to do all the needful, we will get it better. It's like a child that is coming up. Usually the child started with crawling. All of a sudden, he needs to stand. But while doing that, there will be a period of tottering, there will be the period of falling and all that. But by the time he becomes 6, 7 years old, we don't expect that from that child. I expect that what transpired on the 28th, we will improve on it on this on the 11th of April. And with what the president has done, the president now should go ahead to stamp his name more, not only in gold and diamond, but whatever thing that can be written to say, come, please, soldiers, everyone, ensure that things go the way they should be.
But he doesn't have to say all of that, because from observers who were live here in our studios and who spoke to us from Abuja studios, they said the security agencies were fantastic on that day.
Yes, to all the time, because I experienced that. The card reader in my unit had challenge, and I needed to call the INEC guy, and I also called the agent on the other party, and we left the water side, came to Ugbonla, from Ugbonla to Igbokoda, almost about an hour. We went back again, and as soon as we got there, fantastic. And this will even be my recommendation, that because in the last election, in our own locality, the person who could take care of the card reader was at the local government headquarters. So my suggestion will be that we should have this, their what they call computer expert or whatever name you call them, to be at each collation center. For example, there are 12 wards in Ilaje. We expect that in each ward, comprising of some maybe 24 or 13 or 15 units, we should have one person who will be at that collation center that we can resort to, as against coming from about 15, 20, 30, 40 kilometers to meet at the local. It could be an improvement.
All right, we need to wrap up. Let me bring in this one and respond briefly before we go. Do you think that in order to consolidate all of this process, that democratic process, we should introduce midterm elections?
Well, if the elections are scattered, it will give INEC that opportunity of good management to be able to have almost close to absolute control over the various states or whatever it is. But as it is now, we cannot do that because until we amend our Electoral Act for that particular purpose. But if that is done, assuming, for example, we are picking 33 states or 4 or maybe
or maybe
states,
National Assembly or State Assembly's election midterm.
Of course, yes. If we do, it will go a long way. It will reduce the burden of the heavy burden, and then we'll now know that individuals on their merit will be able to go and represent our interests. And on a final note, I appeal to Nigerians that what was done on the 28th should be repeated. Peace in the country. I mean, it is fantastic. This is great. And the two political parties, even PDP, I've just heard this morning that PDP also has gone to congratulate General Buhari. This is the way it should be. And the general said he welcomes everybody on board. That will be good. But again,
it's good to put Nigeria first.
It should not be just food for the boys. Those who merit it, those who want it. Look for quality individuals
across board,
and bring them on board to work. That because the government will be his. It is General Buhari that will be either vilified or praised or whatever name it is. So you should go ahead, sit down, and look for main heads, quality materials to bring on board. Maybe even in the area, you can even look at channel and bring up people who can talk better.
Well, thank you for coming on this morning. We don't mind staying here. Thank you, Mr. Benson Enikhuomehin, a member of the APC. Well, it's time for us to take a look at the headlines again now. Victor Matthias. Victor.